Hi Capricorn, welcome to your solar eclipse in Leo special with me, Raphael from Reydiant.reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for being here. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. I would be eternally grateful for it. If you would like to book a personal tarot reading with me, you can do so on the email address below. Also, if you haven't checked it out yet, please have a look at the Retrogradia mini series that I've posted. It's a series of 3 videos that's going to outline the coming period of what I have affectionately called Retrogradia. Retrogradia is a period of it's 12 days from the 7th of August to the 19th of August, where we're going to have 6 planets in retrograde. I think it will just give you some background and sort of flesh things out for you. So with that said, sales pitch done, enjoy. Before we start, I would like to bless my notes, these cards that I'm about to use, and any messages that may come through with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that whatever messages do come through are ultimately for your highest good and for your highest vibrational good. So, solar eclipse in Leo. Solar eclipse is an initiatory energy, as you might have heard me say in the last eclipse video for the solar eclipse in Cancer. So a solar eclipse is an initiatory energy. It brings something into your life. Now the thing with an eclipse is I believe it's like a toolbox or a gift that the universe gives you that unpacks itself over 3 to 6 months. Now it's also a solar eclipse also accompanies a new moon. A new moon is a time of beginnings. It's when you plant the seeds of the things that you want to bring into your life or that you want to grow in your life. Now with that said, this is taking place in Leo. Now Leo's all to do with the heart. It's about joy, optimism, fun, creativity, children, speculative gambling, fun and frolics and all of those things. It's a really light-hearted energy, but it's also a very heart-centered energy. Now an eclipse in that area is bringing consciousness. It's bringing something through in that area. It's worth mentioning as well that this little purple guy here representing Mercury. Mercury is currently retrograde in the sign of Leo, and Mercury is all to do with your thought processes, it's your communications, it's commerce, all of those things combined. And when a planet goes retrograde, it gives you a chance to really analyze something or reanalyze something or go over something, which is why communication can be fraught, because it kind of goes a bit awry. But for me personally, I believe that the Mercury retrograde in Leo is bringing your mindset into the heart space. It's making you think with your heart. It's asking you, what are my heart's desires? What do I want to welcome in my life? How can I find my joy? How can I find my creativity? And you know, this for you is happening in your 8th house, which, you know, in itself is really interesting and really exciting. So just before we go into that, I just want to talk for a quick minute about this green guy who I'm calling Saturn. Saturn, your ruler, is in your sign. And when Saturn comes into your sign, he's home. He's, you know, just like the sun in Leo is at home. It's travelled the whole zodiac, gaining consciousness and experiences in all areas of life to finally now be expressed and bring all of that knowledge and wisdom to the eclipse point. Saturn's done exactly the same, and he's done that over the period of, like, it's around 30 years, you know, 30 to between 29 and 32 or 33 years, I think it is, depending on, you know, whatever. But Saturn in your sign, he's home. He's brought all of that knowledge, all of that wisdom of the past 30 years, no matter how old you are, and he's shining that into your 1st house, if you're a Capricorn ascendant especially. And what he's kind of saying to you is, you know, I want to now start to help you build and physically, materially manifest the things that you say you want to build in your life. I'm here, I'm going to give you the opportunity, but I'm also going to give you the challenge. I'm going to make sure that all of the work that you've done, all of the previous experience that you've had, you're now bringing into this present moment so that you can start to really build and sustain and crystallize all of the ideas and the endeavors that you say you want to manifest in your life. So also worth also worth talking about Pluto. Oh gosh, it's all going awry. Pluto is also in your sign. Yeah, and that's all about deep transformation. It's about going soul deep, you know, into the core and the depth of who you are, to transform everything that you have within you. As if all of that wasn't enough, it's funny that that one clicked to that. I'm going to attach it to that. You got Mars going retrograde in your sign before he goes stationary to go forward. Mars retrograde, like I talked about previously, it's about making your actions more precise. It internalizes all of that projectile, physical, vibrant, potent energy that's usually about going forward. If it can't go out, it's got to go in. And that's making you more precise. It's also making you more strategic. So, you know, you personally, Capricorn, are going through massive changes, massive shifts. And you're now going to start to finally see some of the blessings and the rewards for all the shit that you've had to pull through. So, with that said, in the 8th house, this is where you find your deepest desires. It's where you find your, it's where you find secrets, you know, hidden things to be revealed. It talks about your deepest desires. It's sex, you know, it's all the taboos of life: sex, death, rebirth, transformation. You know, it's a really deep house because it represents your psychological, psychological aspects of self, but it also talks about other people's money, its inheritance, banks, taxes, all of that stuff. And you've got the solar eclipse happening in that. So this, for me, it's kind of like a big focus is being made on your 8th house, other people's money, other people's resources, that of your partner, you know, money and stuff that is shared between you and your partner. All of those things are found in the 8th. It can also see a surprise blessing that comes in the form of a tax rebate. It could be an inheritance that you weren't even aware that you were, you know, that was yours or could be yours. But for me, this kind of talks about some sort of monetary support or some sort of material support that comes to you from outside. You know, for those of you that are working with or in collaboration with other people in terms of business, this could bring some really surprising and fortuitous events for you. So, you know, brilliant stuff going on there. This could be awakening a real passion inside you, not just to succeed in life, but to liberate your mind and clear out your deepest thought processes, and therefore get in touch with what your true motivations are. You know, your desires come from a place of deep motivation. When you can figure out what your desires are, if you can follow that thread backward, you find what your true motivations are. Some of them you might be surprised about, others, as Capricorns, you probably know already. You guys are all about achievement and accomplishment. You know, when you see goats as well up mountains that are like this, chewing on grass happily, like, how the fuck did they get up there? Like, it's insane. And that's why, you know, yours is that sign of determination, accomplishment, achievement. You know, seeing a goal, making it manifest, just like Saturn. You know, gives you, you know, finding those opportunities. The other thing is as well, in the 8th house, you find magic and mystery. You know, you find the magical arts, the occult, you know, spiritualism, magic, astrology, tarot, numerology. All of those things can be heightened now. And because you've got the eclipse happening there, this can see you really tapping into your intuition, which is why at the moment your intuition is going to be really heightened, and it's really, really important that you trust all of the hunches that you have coming your way, especially over the next 3 to 6 months, because they're going to be highly informative. So all of this, yeah, worth mentioning as well, Venus opposing Chiron can see you finally healing some old patterns, rifts or arguments, and this could come about because of some surprising events. Sometimes what we project onto others requires an internal healing for there to be peace. Some people are never going to change. Let's be honest about it. Some people have got to a certain point or a certain stage in their lives where they've either given up or they're just not able. You know, on this time around, if you believe in reincarnation, on this time, you know, on this go round, on the merry-go-round, they're just not able to evolve past where they're actually at. If that is the case, you need to think about what you're projecting onto them in terms of what you expect. Just because you're able to evolve and move past something doesn't mean somebody else is. And if you can heal that aspect within yourself, you can heal the relationship to other people. What else? Yeah, the square to Jupiter. It's really worth mentioning this because this is happening in your 11th house. So your 11th house is your tribe, it's your friends, it's your group associations, what you associate yourself with, who you associate yourself with, and the people that are on your wavelength. Square energy pushes us. It's uncomfortable energy, but it's uncomfortable to the point of it makes you uncomfortable so that you can make the change in your life. This square between your 8th and your 11th, you know, with the solar eclipse conjunct the Mercury retrograde, for me, is going to see you really delving deep into your own psychology and understanding what your motivations are and why you seek out certain types of people or associate yourself to certain types of groups. And it can also see you really questioning what the higher ideals and higher aspirations are for your life path. So it's going to be a really interesting time for you. Also, you're going to have to try and remember that we're all feeling this. And it can see you speaking up loudly, deeply and forcefully, as if for Capricorn. Really? Shocker. You know I love you guys, so don't even. Try and speak from the fact and remove the emotion from the situation, because it will give you a more balanced approach. So, with that said, let's see what the Tarot's message for you is over this eclipse period. Justice. The Justice card has been really active this throughout these eclipse videos, and it kind of means the same thing in its meaning, but it has slightly different messages for each sign. Now for you guys, this is about your decision. It's about really deciding to commit to your evolution. It's about really deciding to commit to creating a sustainable business model for some of you, because this card represents contracts. It's all things legal, all things documents that you put your name to. You know, we've talked already about inheritance, possible tax rebates, all of these kind of things that are linked to other people's money. The Justice card says a couple of things. Firstly, make sure you choose wisely and be sure to read the fine print and go through everything that you put your name to. And second, it asks you, what I feel here in terms of this is, what the universe deems to be fair and what we deem to be fair sometimes can differ. So it's really important for you to understand that however some of this shapes up in terms of family stuff, who gets what, etc., it's really important that you allow the universe to do what it wants to do with what's being handed out to everybody. I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance itself. Thank you so much, Capricorn. Take care, and I'll see you very soon for more videos.